Ay, 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 ay. Hey, mukana papi akala shem.
Nami nayo.
Nawe nayo. Siyaslayisha, siyapampisha, basiprekisile. So today, it's very nice in studio, even though we're talking about a serious topic. But you know what? We're excited to be celebrating our baby bumps. So we're talking about fibroids today.
Yeah.
So Uri has got fibroids and she's also pregnant.
Yeah.
This is your second pregnancy and you experienced it with your first and your second. My first question is, yini ama fibroids?
Well, to put it mildly, actually, it's like a tumor, but it's not cancerous. So it can grow in any position in your womb, like around your ovaries, around your cervix, or outside, or even inside your uterus. So with mine, it's always been outside, but attached to the uterus. So the only time that I actually know I have fibroid was when I was pregnant.
How did it start? What were the symptoms that indicated to you that there might be something that's not okay?
You know, being misinformed, that's a problem, ne? Because I knew from like being a teenager that I had cysts. So I always had like cramps, and then my period was what, 7 days, twice a month.
Sure. That's 14 days a month.
I kid you not. It was like you have 5 days of period, 1 day jump, and then 2 days it continues, and then you're done for that week, and then one more
comes
week
back again.
Yeah. So for me it was, I'm just heavy. You go to the doctor, he says no, you have cysts. I was like, okay, cysts, no problem. First pregnancy, I get there, and the doctor's like, okay. First thing they told me was, you have a biconjugate uterus, which means my womb is not shaped normally. Like, my womb is supposed to be more like a bean shape. My womb is more like a heart with horns shape.
That's cute, girl.
No, it's not cute.
This is a heart.
No, it's a heart with horns with 2 openings.
Ooh, okay.
So it's one thing, but it is very weird. And then I was like, okay, fine. Then she said, no, chances of you falling pregnant are very slim. So a week later, I was actually supposed to go for my birth control injection. So I was like, oh, well, they said I can't have kids. Birth control for who?
Yes.
I don't go. Less than a month later, I have this excruciating pain.
Like labor pains.
Well, I don't know what labor pains is. I have a kid, yes, but I skipped that part until late pregnancy light, you know. So okay, fine. I go to the doctor again because now this time I'm literally scrunched over in the taxi. The poor taxi driver didn't actually stop for anybody else. They literally just drove all the way to the hospital because I was like literally keeled over. I couldn't even. It felt like I was sitting on a knife and it was stabbing me every time I get up. That's how it felt. That's the only way I can describe it. I get there and the doctor's like, okay, maybe your sister ruptured. I'm like, my what did what? He's like, no, our sister's like a pimple with water.
Okay.
Probably ruptured. I go for a sauna. The most invasive sauna I've ever been in my life. You know that one where they
Alright, so they do it for man. No, I know that because they normally do that like in the beginning of your pregnancy.
I hate that thing.
Why, girl? How do you make a baby?
Exactly, it wasn't metal. So no. So they put that, and then he's like, no, you have fibroids. I'm like, okay, so it's cyst biconjugate fibroid. So what's the problem? He says, but actually, let me take a blood test because it looks like let me not say anything. I'm like, how? Okay. You know, so now that time I'm still in pain. And I'm like, okay, then give me something to make this stop. She says, okay, let's see what we can do.
Yes.
She gives me an injection for pain. Right? It made it like a period pain, so it was like mild. It didn't go away. It was still pain. I hate it.
So you went from extreme pains to actually labor pains, because labor pains are like period pains. Okay, so before you continue, right? That's a lot of information. Let's hear what social media had to say. Do they even know what it is? So we asked them, what do you know about uterine fibroids during pregnancy? And Untabi saying, Mama Hlodi said, growth in the uterus, I think they are not cancerous and can cause some unknown sickness, I think, she says.
Okay, what they can cause is the scariest thing that any doctor can tell you, because after they checked the injection, 2 days later she called me back and she says, hey, honey, get into my office, straight into my office. She gets it, she's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but the problem is, remember I told you might not be able to have kids? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you're pregnant. Right. Okay.
So now you've got 2 things to deal with.
I'm pregnant, I have a fibroid, I still have a cyst. I'm still trying to understand what a biconjugate uterus is. So it was like, okay, what happened? She's like, well, basically, it looks like somebody took a blender, went into your uterus, and just pressed it. Basically. So, yeah, that was a lot to deal with. The one thing I know is that they told me, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel a burning sensation. You might bleed.
So did they take it out?
No.
So you went through your 9 months of pregnancy with it?
Yeah.
How did you give birth? Naturally or cesarean?
No, C-section.
And then they took out the baby and the fibroids?
No.
Stayed. And then they got rid of them after at a later
It shrunk.
point. Okay. How did we get to this second one?
I still had a fibroid, but it was small. It
Okay.
shrinks. It changes size on its own. Like it literally either grows or it shrinks. So when I started with this pregnancy, they told me I had 3 fibroids. Now they can only find 1, and it's huge. It's about 15 by 15 centimeters.
Sure.
So it is actually quite large. It takes up like half of my side.
So the baby, okay, can I
It's only
see?
on-
So
yeah,
the baby is,
No, the baby's on the other side.
okay, the baby's here.
Yeah, and the
side.
fibroid is on the bigger side.
On this side. It's much harder.
Honey, you can press it. It doesn't hurt right now.
Oh my goodness.
It's like rock hard this side.
It's rock
and
hard.
it's really squishy this side. So when my baby moves, because I can feel my baby move very early. I
Okay.
felt my baby move around 15 weeks. And then the moment it starts making any movement, this thing will literally either go here on my belly button, on the top. I don't know where it goes.
So your
but-
bum can look different every day.
Honey, I look like a jelly bean. I look like a baby bean.
Okay, Mrs. Jellybean, I think you informed us enough. But what I love about this topic is that a lot of women don't know about it, you know, and we're not saying that we're all going to have healthy pregnancies, but I'm glad that you having a second pregnancy and you're healthy and you're still surviving, you're still going great, you're still laughing and having a good time and celebrating your pregnancy, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah, the one thing that the doctors told me, most people don't realize that it affects about 80% of women. 80% of women go through fibroids, and the positioning of it does not actually cause infertility. Most people actually think that no, if I have fibroids I can't have kids.
Right.
And no, it does not mean that. But then you might have a miscarriage, unfortunately. That's the things that the doctors tell me in the beginning, because I only found out when I was like 5 weeks pregnant. I knew I was pregnant already. So she said you might have miscarriage, so you need to be very careful. Don't bump your belly, don't hurt yourself. Don't overexert yourself. Try to avoid as much stress as you can, because for me it was very stressful. You know, like I found out I'm pregnant, 2 days later I lost my job. So you can imagine
how do you
how
not
that
get
went.
stressed?
Exactly. But I tried to stay positive in all that. But then even though the fibroid is growing, my baby is fine because it is attached to the uterus on the outside. So they localized it and they actually took me out of the high risk
So you're
pregnancy
okay.
part. So it's
You're okay. You're okay.
by faith. Even if the
By
doctor
faith.
even if the doctor says you can't have kids,
You
if God
have
says you're gonna have a kid,
Hallelujah.
you're having the baby. So I'm having my second baby now.
And I have a gift for you.
Do you have to?
Yes,
Okay.
we have to. Kids in Purim has a lovely gift for you. You've went through so much, but you deserve a break, and I want you to enjoy this.
Thank you very much.
And to come back to the shop and shop for that little baby.
Honey, I've already shopped. I have ticked off things off my list here.
Thank you so much, and all the
Thank
best
you.
with your journey. And thank you so much for educating us. Like, education is important.
Yes. Well, can I say just one thing to you?
Ooh,
too?
I knew it. This
Just
kid
one
can
thing.
talk.
Just one thing.
Okay.
Just one more thing.
Okay.
Girls having a heavy period is not a normal thing.
Okay.
Go get checked out. Ask your doctor for a SONA. Just make sure that you know if you have fibroids, they can be removed.
Sure.
So you don't have to go through all this drama. You don't need to go through all this drama.
Okay, so that's a
It's-
red flag. You
Yeah.
know when you're on
When you
your
have
period.
and serious cramps, go get checked out. Like always, love your gynae. Go to the gynae, even though they're going to be very invasive with you, but love your gynae because you
Our
won't
time
know
is
until
up.
it's too late.
Love your gynae, love your friends, love Ria. She can talk, but very insightful notes. Thank you so much for being part of my baby fam. Until next time, my mamas, remember, pregnancy is not a disability, but a blessing. Cheers.